Hey, what's up everybody? Rob Hau, Rockstar Realtor with Elite Realty. I'm the realtor, you're the rock star, and today I'm going to talk about John Gruden's emails. And I was wrong. How did I get it wrong? Find out on the other side. All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to another Robnostication for November 2021. I'm looking from October into November, and I'm going to start out with how I was wrong. I'm going to get right to that point because it relates to real estate. And, you know, my other point on John Gruden's emails, I think actually relates to our lives and certainly to real estate in a way. So stay tuned for why I'm going to talk about John Gruden's emails. First off, I was wrong on a Robnostication that I made. I think it's really the first one that I have to fess up and say I got it wrong. I didn't see some things that were happening in the marketplace, and that caused a slight miscalculation on my part, really. And what am I talking about? Well, the median home price went up in September. That's right. I had said that we were going to stay about the same or maybe even drop. And because the prior 2 months we had stayed the same. We went to 405 median home price and then we stayed at 405, and it sure looked like we could expect a small drop to happen after that. But instead, we got a small uptick. It went to 4065, $1,500 increase in the median home price. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't see that coming. First of all, the trend was pretty clear and is still clear as to where we're going. So overall, my outlook is basically remaining the same. I think Vegas is going to remain strong, but the historic market that we've had, this incredible market, is going to start changing. And it's not going to continue to be able to go up every month with the median home price. And that's going to be because we have more inventory on the market, and the price is hard for people to purchase in, and so on and so forth. But what I didn't account for in my mind was that there was a lot of inertia left in the market. It's like a train, okay? Just to stop a train, it doesn't just stop on a dime. It takes a little time for that train to come to a full, complete stop. And there was just a little bit of inertia that I didn't expect. And now I'm going to predict is still left in our market. What I'm seeing is in the lower price ranges, especially condos and townhomes, it is still extremely strong. And as you go up a little higher, it's still strong, but you're not getting these, way over list price bidding, and you're not getting as much of the waiver of appraisal and as much of the I'm going to pay above appraisal. You're seeing a lot less of that as you get up into a little bit higher price ranges. But in those lower ranges, it's still extremely competitive, and people are having to sometimes waive an appraisal contingency, and sometimes certainly they're having to put a little bit above the appraisal value towards any gap. Cash towards that gap. So I think that's what has created that little uptick that we have. Those the condos and townhomes are incredibly strong. So the lower price ranges have been incredibly strong. Also, people in general are willing to offer more if they don't have to come in with, paying above appraisal and waiving their appraisal contingency. They'll just offer more and make it sweeter for the seller. And because the appraisers, speaking of the train that hasn't stopped, the appraiser's mindset is still on an uptick mindset. And once they get, we're all human here. The appraiser, an appraiser that goes out, these are human beings, and they do get stuck on a mindset, so to speak, and they are on an upward trajectory. So they're going to give a little credit for the heat of the market, and that is like that train's, not quite coming to a stop yet, okay? So in order for us to reverse or to go down, in the median home price, you would have to see that train come to a full, complete stop and then start to reverse, so to speak. So that's what I think has happened there. And I will take and admit that I was wrong. And that kind of leads me to why I'm going to talk about John Gruden's emails. I think it's about integrity. I think when I think about what you're saying to people, even in private and, you know, all around, whether it's in an email or a text or anything like that, I think for me in my life, I have learned that none of this is positive things if you're going to be out there saying stuff that you wouldn't want people to see in general. Okay, so I think that he's a brash person and clearly felt like in private or on his emails he could talk however he wanted to talk. And this is going to be very controversial for how people feel. These are private emails, blah blah blah. But the fact is that he's a very high profile person. He's a head coach of an NFL football team, and you don't want to do that, in my opinion. And I think in business in general, this is where I've learned. I mean, something my mother taught me was make sure to be who you are trying to be. I mean, you don't want to get caught being, you know, acting one way and then being another way. So I think in life we can learn to act you know, a certain way because that's what we're trying to be. And it does take faking it. You know, they say fake it till you make it. Well, you got to fake it a little bit and until you actually become that. That's a little bit of a, you know, a side shoot theory. When I first started in real estate business, it was a little uncomfortable at first. You know, I had all these preconceived notions about what it takes to be a businessman of your own and to really do things correctly. And you know, it took a little bit of, I just had to pretend a little bit. I had to act, you know, and after a while, the act stops becoming the act. It is you. You are becoming you, the thing that you need to be in that position that you are. Okay. And I know that can sound whatever, fake, whatever. I mean, but everybody has to fake it till they make it in some way in life. There are those who are just gifted and naturally, boom, they just know where they are. They know what they belong. And I may appear that way when I speak to people on YouTube and I just do my thing. It may appear like, you know, Rob's just Rob. And while I've always been myself, of course, it hasn't always been that easy to just turn it on and be what I needed to be in that moment. There's all kinds of stuff we have going on between the ears, you know? So going back to John Gruden emails and just how I think you should, I mean, we should all strive to act and be who we want to be no matter where we're at, whether it's in a text to a friend, whether it's in an email, and certainly in these places. This is what Mama said. All of these things can be subpoenaed and brought out into court if I was to get into any kind of a situation like that. What did I say and what I did and all those things can be brought into. So the last thing you'll ever find me doing, and this is part of a Robnostication, my own personal Robnostication, is that you won't find me talking that kind of language or bad about people or any kind of, you know, disparaging things. I just don't do it. I don't do it in my real life. Most of the time, I don't even want to say bad things about people that probably deserve it. But that is something that I think we can all take on and understand. We are in the age of information. And that age is taking some people time to adjust. It's taking all of us time to adjust to what that means. You know, we thought, oh, geez, we're going to have all the information and we'll know it. We'll be able to do whatever we need to do. But the thing about it is you have all the information. And some of that information we're finding out is not real in life. What's real, what isn't? You have to adjust. And we all have to start understanding how to deal with modern life, really. And so part of that for me is to behave how I'm going to behave regardless of where I'm at. And, you know, I'm going to say poor old John Gruden. I think he's probably a nice guy. I don't know. I haven't read everything that he said, so maybe I'm talking out of turn here. But, you know, you don't say those things. And this is in the world of business. I think you just absolutely don't say those things. And so that's my little thought for you on the day today. All of that said, I hope you took something out of all the words I just used. and it helps you understand who I am and maybe helps you understand yourself and others better. That's kind of what I think is great about communicating through technology these days, is that we can find those little great nuggets that we all have to offer each other. And my final nugget, my Robnostication, is pretty simple right now. I think that the train is just slightly moving. What we'll see in October, the numbers that end up popping out. And I am using a little bit of, what's happened with my own sales. I try not to stay in that bubble, but my sales have all closed higher than asking price. And certainly that would say that we're probably going to see one more potential increase coming in the median home price. I actually tend to think it will stay flat. It'll stay the same, but I'm going to go ahead and hedge it and say it might increase just a hair bit more one more time for October. A lot of people trying to get in homes right now. I talked to my title company and they're telling me that a lot of people are on the rush to get into a property before we have all the holidays start. You got obviously Halloween, then you got Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and whatnot, and the New Year. A lot of people want to get settled in and get going with their lives, and then come around the turn of the year and maybe even get settled in home and want to take a vacation or something. All right, so a lot of people are pushing to get in their homes right now. I think that's going to show strength in the median home price. We'll see that continued, but look for underneath it all, the changes are happening. It is impossible to ignore that we are getting out of historic times and that our inventory is starting to slightly increase every month over month. Okay, so I'll let you know what I think that means for November and December on my next Robnostication. Hope you got something out of this. Hey, and don't forget, if you want to work with somebody that you can, I never ask anybody to trust me, but you can feel good about. My name's Rob Hau. I'm the Rockstar Realtor from Elite Realty, and you're the rock star I want to work for, all right? So when you need help with selling or buying real estate in Las Vegas, now you know how. Here's my email, rob@robhowrockstarrealtor.com. You can email me there. You can call me 702-461-7175, or you can tie a note on a rock and throw it through my window. I don't care how you get a hold of me, but do it when you're ready, because I'm here to help. Have a great day, everybody. Much love.